Welcome to VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards, a daily podcast bringing you an inside look at the Vegas Golden Knights' 2023 Stanley Cup playoff run. I'm Justin Russo with the Golden Knights on Saturday, May 13th, and last night the VGK put together a 4-3 win in Game 5 of their second-round series against the Edmonton Oilers to put them within one win of the Western Conference Final. Now again, Vegas gave up the first goal in Game 5. It was Connor McDavid on an early power play opportunity that struck first in this one for the Edmonton Oilers, but the Golden Knights did what they've done in each of their wins in this series, and that is respond quickly, because Jack Eichel, 50 seconds after Connor McDavid scored, went down on the other end and got a goal for the VGK to tie the game up and bring them right back into the game. And though that was an important point in this game, there was a stretch of 90 seconds in the second period that really turned the game on its head, because the Golden Knights, after getting a 5-on-3 power play opportunity, went on to score 3 goals in 90 seconds to go from trailing 2-1 to having a 4-2 lead over the Edmonton Oilers. Mark Stone, Riley Smith, and Nick Hague all score in 90 seconds for the VGK to give them that 4-2 lead, and that was exactly the cushion they needed heading into the third period, because with just 23 seconds to go in the second period, Vegas riding high, Keegan Kolesar takes a 5-minute major penalty that gives the Edmonton Oilers new life in the third period. And now, going into the second intermission, the Vegas Golden Knights, despite having that 2-goal lead, were faced with the seemingly impossible task of holding off the Edmonton Oilers for 5 consecutive minutes on the man advantage. And for the VGK, you have to say, they did one heck of a job during that penalty kill, because Vegas only allowed 1 goal in the entire 5 minutes, and it was a great individual effort by Connor McDavid to get around the Golden Knights defense and put one by Adin Hill on a second chance opportunity after Hill even made the initial save. So Connor McDavid got the Oilers within 1, but the Golden Knights stood strong the rest of that penalty kill, only gave up the 1 goal, and really in the entire third period were extremely aggressive and trying to do whatever they could to make sure the Oilers couldn't gain a rhythm and couldn't find their game in that third to get back into it and tie it to send it to overtime. And you have to give a lot of credit to the Golden Knights for really rallying around each other, buying into their game, and giving it all in that third period to maintain that 1-goal lead. So for the Golden Knights, a 4-3 win in Game 5, but I want to go back to that sequence in the second period, because again, that is really where this game got turned on its head. A 3-goal, 90-second stretch for the Vegas Golden Knights that took them from trailing by 1 to leading by 2 and set the tone for the rest of the game. And of course, the guy that got the Vegas Golden Knights going in that second period when they needed it, the captain, Mark Stone. And after Game 5, Brian McCormack had a chance to catch up with Mark Stone to talk about everything that went down last night.
The Edmonton Oilers power play remained red hot on Friday night at T-Mobile Arena, but the Golden Knights were dominant 5-on-5 in Game 5 and got a boost from their power play as well. Hello friends, I'm Brian McCormack. This is VGK Today, and the Golden Knights pull ahead in the series in Game 5. We caught up with Golden Knights captain Mark Stone just after the end of Game 5 for instant reaction and analysis. Here's what the captain had to say. With Captain Mark Stone, Mark, after Game 5, you guys take a 3-2 series lead. This has been a back-and-forth series to this point. How important was it for you guys not only to hold serve, but also to have the performance you did in what felt like one of the tighter contests of this series so far?
Yeah, it definitely was. Thought overall, 5-on-5, thought we dictated a lot of the play. Obviously we gave up 3 on the penalty kill, but I think that was one of the big differences in the game was finishing off that 5-minute major. Only giving up 1 was key, and I mean, it's kind of a bad bounce. So overall, I thought it was a pretty good effort by us. We stuck to the game plan. We started taking over the game a little bit in the second period, started getting our chances, drawing some penalties. And in the third period after that kill, I thought we did a great job at just limiting their time and space and controlling the play in their end.
It's interesting, Mark, you talk about the penalty kill, the job the penalty kill did tonight. 2 of the goals that they score are off of relatively broken plays. You can analyze the penalty kill not just on the percentages, but on what you guys did within those 2 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, they got 3. We don't like them getting 3, but it happens. They have a great power play, but if we can keep them 5-on-5, I think it's a big win for us. But like I said, you're killing a 5-minute major. They get one, kind of relatively early, but we were able to kill the last 3.5 minutes was key.
not all power plays are created equal. For you guys, you get a 5-on-3 opportunity in the second period, turns the game around. How important is it for you guys, not just to produce, but also to be opportunistic when the opportunities to turn the game around come your way?
Yeah, it was big. I mean, it's not just the first goal; it's the second goal. You kind of get the first one, and then the other unit goes out there and capitalizes on another one. So those are huge momentum swings. I think sometimes when you get the goal on the 5-on-3, you kind of just forget that you're still in the power play. But that other unit went out there, stuck to it. We got our bounce there, and we get a big goal from Smitty off a relatively harmless play, but we execute.
And your goal 5-on-3 earlier in that 2-man advantage, a couple of looks go through Shea Theodore, but then Jack finds you at the side of the net. Obviously, you're looking for the open look on a 5-on-3, but was there discussion about trying to attack from the goal line out if that look opened up?
No, I think obviously Theo had a couple good looks, a couple good shots. Goalie made a good save, but we got 5 guys that got through. So I figured if I could get that puck to the net, even if I didn't score, we could probably outman him at the net and find a way to get it in.
Passing for Eichel. Here the left dot. Down to the goal line. Stone slam dunk score! 2-2 tie. 5:55 to go, second period. Stone delivers the power play goal. 5th of the playoffs for Mark Stone, and his second on the power play.
We're with Mark Stone. We hear coaches and players talk about all the time how important it is not to be chasing the game. You guys have trailed early in games in this series in each game, but the 3 games that you've won, you've come back in less than 2 minutes to answer. Tonight it was about 50 seconds. It's obviously important to tie the game, but how important is also early in games, the way you guys have, almost resets the game?
Oh, for sure. Obviously you don't want to go down early in every game, but they think they're getting the momentum. If we're able to get goals, within the 2 minutes, it really takes away a lot of their momentum. Gives us a huge boost. Those are big goals. Even Jack's goal tonight, today they challenged. We get on the power play. Actually had some really good looks on that power play. We just didn't capitalize, and then they come back, score again. But we're still feeling good about the way we're playing. Especially 5-on-5, and came out and pressed hard. Got a couple power play goals, got rewarded, and then get a big insurance goal by Hager there.
For Jack Eichel, a 3-point night for him. I think it's his 3rd 3-point game of these playoffs. There was a lot of excitement to see what he would do in his first NHL playoff action, but tonight felt like a game where not just the point production, but even just puck control, where he really took over a lot of his shifts.
As the puck ends up on the near boards, puck comes out in front, they score! Jack Eichel finds the puck in front and ties the game.
Yeah, well, he can skate with pretty well everyone, and he's so big and strong. So when he gets control of that puck and kind of puts guys on his back, it's tough to control him. We see it in practice when he gets rolled up the wall, and you're trying to defend him. He's so good at protecting the puck. So it kind of wears on their defense, wears on their forwards, having to hang around in the D zone all night when he's protecting pucks like that, and really opens up a lot of space for his line mates.
With Mark Stone, talk about the 5-on-5 work that you guys did. They had 15 shots on the power play. There's a 5-minute major in there too, but they had 16 shots at 5-on-5. What did you guys do to gum things up for them?
I thought our D did a really good job of breaking the puck out. They're taking some hits, but there's one D-court in this league that embraces his physical play and doesn't mind going back, getting pucks and breaking the puck out. It's our defense. So I thought they did a really good job at limiting the rush chances, keeping them on the outside. But when they did dump it in, which I think was a lot of their game plan, our defense did a really good job of getting back, forward supporting. And ultimately, I think a lot of us, as forwards and D, we did a lot of good job of resetting the puck in the O-zone. Our best defense is playing offense, right? If you make them come 200 feet, it's a lot harder.
And without Alex Pietrangelo tonight, so that systematically everyone's got to step up. And as you mentioned, you guys did that. How important does that make the details? You're not going to replace an Alex Pietrangelo, but as a unit, you guys can make do, and tonight you did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at the ice time, but I think it was spread out pretty well for our lines and our D-core. So obviously Hutton's he's a high-end pro. There's not many guys that can miss that many games, come in and play well. Same for Teddy. Hasn't played since the last game of the season, I think, and comes in and just gives us good shifts, energy shifts, and how he draws a 4-minute minor for us, but those are hard situations to come into. But they really stepped up, and I think Theo, kind of took the bull by the horns there, offensively, defensively, played a great game for us, and everybody. A D-corps, they grind no matter what. They're going to grind, and that's all you can ask for.
During the playoffs, a lot of guys are playing through bangs and bruises, things on their mind, what have you. But William Karlsson is a new father. He's got a lot on his mind, and I'm sure it's something. Well, I know it's something that you can directly relate to. A couple of months ago, did you have any advice for him, or how did you think he played with all that's going on in his life right now for Game 5?
Yeah, for sure. I think Naber probably had more experience with me. I was obviously out of the lineup, so I was able to spend 3 days at the hospital with my wife. I think it was a lot easier for me and my wife for that situation. But, I think Howard's, he missed a game. It was the last game of the season. But, Naber, he was right into the mix after his baby boy was born. And Carl, I think he spent a lot of time at the hospital last night and looked a little tired this morning. But, he's got a pretty big engine. He can skate like the wind. He can skate for a long period of time. He's like a speed skater out there. So I wasn't worried about him. I knew that he was going to step up, but definitely happy for him. I think it's a pretty exciting time. I can speak from experience. It's a life-changing experience, and I think he'll probably be pretty excited to go see his baby boy.
With Mark Stone, again, for you guys, you get the win to take a 3-2 series lead and a convincing defensive performance, especially 5-on-5. The last few minutes of the third period, though, you guys didn't sit back. You guys might have been a 90-second shift in the offensive zone of puck possession. Was that you guys putting the pedal down to finish things off?
Yeah, it's just effort, right? Smitty and Carly started it. I'm not sure. I think Wazzy changed. I got out there. Smitty changed. Howes got out there. And Stevie jumps the boards for Carly, and I come off and get Marshy out there. It's just rolling the lines over, staying aggressive, because you have to against these guys. If you sit back and give these guys time and space, they're gonna get their chances. So even in the 6-on-5, I thought we did a really good job. They took a couple shots from the point, but we're gonna give something up. We got to trust our goalie to make some saves, and Hiller was there for us tonight when we needed it.
Each game's its own chapter, but a satisfying win for you guys, and you won the right way. Is there anything that you carry over from Game 5 to Game 6? Yeah,
I think we have to. I've said in the past that you don't get momentum from games, but we got to find a way to carry some consistency. We've had a couple lags in games, after wins, so I think we got to be, more prepared to step on the gas, like you said there. When you get the lead, you can't sit back. You got to keep going, and it's the same for us. We got the lead in the series. We got to continue to push forward, and that's when we're playing our best, anyways. When we're on our toes, rolling over the four lines, staying aggressive, 5-man forecheck, 5-man D zone, 5-man neutral zone. We get that 5-man group going. We're pretty hard to beat.
Congratulations on the win, Mark. Appreciate your time.
Awesome, thank you.
The third period felt like a 5-on-5 clinic for the Golden Knights once they were through the 5-minute major. And perhaps no more evidently than at the end of the third period when they had a span of, it felt like 90 seconds, perhaps multiple shifts in the offensive zone strung together where they were able to close this game out with assertiveness, with possession, and put their foot down on Game 5. Now we turn to Game 6 where the Golden Knights will look to put things away in Alberta. Let's throw it back over to Justin Russo.
Well, a great chat there between Brian McCormack and Captain Mark Stone of the Vegas Golden Knights, and I like what Mark said at the end there, talking about staying on the gas. These two teams in this series have alternated wins in every single game. And we've talked about after each of these games, will one of these teams finally be able to win 2 games in a row and carry some momentum from that last game? Because we just haven't seen it throughout this entire series. And really until Game 5 last night, we hadn't even seen a relatively close game. You can look back at Game 1, it was a 2-goal game, but really not as close as the score indicated. So finally last night we got a close game. And now I think that Mark Stone and the Golden Knights recognize that they can build on what they did in last night's third period in terms of being aggressive and just taking it to the Edmonton Oilers. We saw that shift that he referenced last night in the third period where the Golden Knights had about 90 seconds to 2 minutes in the offensive zone while Edmonton was trying to push to get that last goal, trying to just get possession so they could take Jack Campbell out of the net and get to the 6-on-5, and Vegas just wouldn't let him. They were just rolling guys over the boards, continuing to stay in that offensive zone, and I think that aggressive approach is something that they're going to need in Game 6. And the last thing that Mark mentioned there, too, is staying connected as a 5-man unit, just playing as that 5-man unit, getting in on the forecheck up front, getting back to get pucks in deep on defense, and just really having a cohesive 5-man group, which is something that, again, in the wins we've seen from the Vegas Golden Knights, and it's been flawless hockey. They played so well when they're connected, but when things start to get a little disjointed, you see the wheels starting to fall off for the Vegas Golden Knights. So let's see if they can finally carry some momentum from game to game. I know Mark said he doesn't necessarily believe in game-to-game momentum, but I think this entire team realizes that not only did they get the win last night, but they got the win against an Edmonton Oilers team that felt like they were also playing their game in Game 5. And that was another thing we had talked about in previous episodes, was each of these teams playing to their best ability at the same time. And I feel like in Game 5, that was the first time we really saw it, where both of these teams were getting what they wanted in this game and playing to the best of their abilities at times. And for the Golden Knights, that has to be a confidence booster after Game 5, knowing that, okay, they were on point in this game. We took it to them, and we still beat them, even though they were getting to some of their game and getting some of the looks that they wanted, especially on the man advantage. So for the Golden Knights, let's see again if they can carry that momentum and carry that mindset into Game 6 now, with a chance to move on to the Western Conference Final and put away the Edmonton Oilers once and for all. So for the Vegas Golden Knights, of course, now with Game 5 behind them, the focus shifts to Game 6 tomorrow in Edmonton. Don't have the official start time just yet for the Vegas Golden Knights, but it's going to be a massive opportunity to make sure that at the first time of asking, they can clinch the series and take down the Edmonton Oilers in just 6 games. And for such a big game tomorrow, we had to bring in a very special person to preview all the action for a pivotal Game 6. That's right, it's Darren Millard coming back to VGK today to preview Game 6 between the Golden Knights and the Oilers. So for now, Justin Russo signing off for episode 27 of VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards.